little delay, folks. Might have a little delay. We'll just hang out on the pole for a little while. I will not talk you off of Hocevar. All right, well, hopefully we're racing today. Here for the sharp gill and breakdown. All right, well, let's get into it. Whew. Love the sound of that every day. Every day, every race day. Cheers. Happy race day. Taking a pull. Num-nums. Num-nums. All right. Yeah, maybe Nuke will have you on sometime. Just what time does your radio show the same time every week, Nuke? Yeah, this rain is kind of... So I posted that it doesn't look good with the rain. Am I wrong? I got chewed up. I mean, not as bad as when I say that Chase Elliott getting a mock run in qualifying is an advantage. Dude, people jump down my throat, and then he qualifies 18th, and they throw that in my face. Like, somehow their point, that proved their point. What? So many people on here are the worst communicators I've ever seen. Oh, I know. I need to figure out how to read the weather. So I just said it as, okay, if you were to ask any driver, ask them this question. Would you rather just run your qualifying lap and then you're done one time? Or would you rather run one lap, get to put tires on, and then air pressure adjustment, and then run again? Every driver would choose to make a mock run, change tires, and do it again, right? That's because there's an advantage. Well, these Chase Elliott fans did not think it was an advantage. And hit the wall your first run. Yeah, so I don't know. These people were saying, well, he's not going to beat Hamlin anyway. It doesn't matter. Who the hell said anything about Denny Hamlin? All I said was that it's an advantage. And then when he qualified 18th, people were like, ha, 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 you were saying it? Well, Chase Elliott sucks. I mean, I don't think he sucks, but kind of. Yeah, you can't reason with Chase fans. I agree, Kevin. Oh, man, they are. All right. Denny Hamlin. Well, not great in practice. Did not seem too concerned. And he qualified on the pole. It's going to be very difficult because he's going to be in control of the race from the start. Just in control from the start. So, yeah, Denny's going to be tough to beat. Is he bettable? Probably not. Yeah, Denny's never great in practice. That's correct. I would agree. Yeah, very cocky Denny. Jameson's dad. That's what we're going to call him. I think it's kind of clever. James' son. Anyway. Yeah, I think Denny's going to be very good. It looks like there's been some moves against him with Ryan Blaney. I don't know. There's a lot of Ryan Blaney love, which I understand, but also it's going to be hard to pass today. It's going to be very hard to pass. Very hard to pass. Whoever gets out front, I don't know that we're going to see a green flag pass for the lead. Are we? Like under green, not under within the first 3 laps of a restart. You might see a few passes, but after that, I don't know. Denny, I actually could pull up my Pocono practice from last year. Do I have that? Anyway, Denny's going to be strong. I have not bet him. If you're betting Denny, I hope you got the plus 450 because 3-1 is tough. Yeah, I would never fade Denny. That's risky. Chris Buescher, good qualifying out of Chris. He looked good in practice. Right now, I'm comparing the practices. I'm just comparing Group 1 to Group 1 and Group 2 to Group 2, and then kind of figuring out who's best between those. So I do think Denny fastest lap. That's intriguing at that 5-1 number. Buescher was good. Gosh, I don't like him at 12-1. It's just, does anyone like him at 12-1? I understand that early in the week if you got 18 or 20-1. 12 just seems short. I think he'll be strong all day, and when he qualifies well, he typically runs well. Blaney looked good, have the best long run. Yeah, I'll say this. He wasn't that much better than Cindric. Oh, he's due. Don't say he's due. Come on. Is that a joke, LT? The he's due thing? Because that's a pet peeve. His numbers seem short, but you think he wins. So 12-1's a great number. Okay. I don't know. If you were to tell me that you had the 77 at 20-1 right behind Buescher, I really like that. I think, do we all agree that Hocevar is fast every week and he qualifies well? I think Hocevar is going to be really good. Will he be on my card? Todd, can we search a number there? Todd hates betting Hocevar with a passion. Okay, what do the NPCs say about Hocevar? Go ahead. I want to see the NPCs comments. Come on. I know they're out there. I'm betting Hocevar. What are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say? Oh, everyone. There you go. Insert Recce revenge narrative. Thank you, Iowa. I appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Big Ross, I agree that usually the 77 shows speed in practice when he's fast. But I think Hocevar is just going to be fast. That's where I'm at on him. Is I think Hocevar's fast. 20? Jeez. Whoa. Todd, some of those are crazy. Okay. I think Hocevar is going to be fast. I know that he didn't look that good in practice. I don't care. John Hunter Nemechek, what a great qualifying out of this guy. Could he hang around? Where is he on here? Could he hang around? Probably. Yeah. I just, you can hang on to track position here. He finished in the top 10 last week. Again, I don't know. Not my thing. John Hunter. I do think there's some value on betting some long shot top 10s early in the week. You can get guys like Zane Smith, Cole Custer qualified well this week, John Hunter Nemechek, Todd Gilliland. Sometimes. Oh yeah, Jones is way better than John Hunter. Yeah. I don't know. Cole Custer, again, I think these guys can hang out, but if they lose track position, they're never getting it back. So be careful there. This race is restarts in strategy, because once it gets strung out, nobody's passing a soul. So I just think John Hunter, Cole Custer, if you guys lose track position, it's going to be tough. Chase Briscoe, average in practice. This is actually a bad qualifying for Chase Briscoe. Throwing a competition caution, yeah. FanDuel reopened Nemechek at 850 top 10 and Custer 14-1. Those would be good. Big Ross. Big Ross says, I'd like to repeat for everyone that John Hunter Nemechek loves to hit walls with a fast race car. I don't think Denny can lead every lap. For some reason, I think here's the thing with Denny. If he loses track position, he finds his way back up to the front. You think Denny's going to lose track position and then run 15th all day? That shit ain't happening. He is going to work his way back up to the front somehow. But the comp caution will be for a green racetrack. Everybody take a drink. We got time. Yeah, everyone take a drink. Slow down. We're not going anywhere. I don't know. Does anybody have a feel on Chase? He just was kind of average in practice. That's all. That's all I can say. Just average. You think anyone goes for stage points instead of pitting before the end of stage? Well, I do think some people will do that. Who are the drivers that would do that? I think SVG. I think SVG would do that, but there's got to be someone. Come on, who's ahead of him? Someone smart tell me who's going to be going for track position or going for stage points. Hang on. Yeah, Logano. You think Logano? Logano and Briscoe? I don't know. You think Buescher goes for stage points? Cinder could try and win a stage today. Ryan says all the guys he faded in stage 1 matchups will go for stage points. Yeah, I don't see Buescher stage point racing. Yeah, I agree, Nate. Yeah, the thing here is that, like, if John Hunter does go for stage points, I guess I would understand. But when he's back in traffic, he ain't coming back to the front. Yeah, I think anyone with a win. I agree. I think you have to have a win to go for stage points. That's why I was saying SVG, maybe Chastain. Yeah. I think I would say if you're betting stage 1 guys, I would say guys that have won. Guys that have won. But I don't know what these guys are thinking. Yeah, I think that Nigel's right here. Do you have a car capable of winning? If you do, you're not taking stage points. Yeah, Denny went for stage 2 win last year and finished second. Byron maybe falls in this category. I think they're going to try and steal track position. I think Byron has to. He's too far back. Someone will take stage points before Byron. Reddick stage points. I think his car's capable of winning. All right, we're off the topic now. Byron's not using a backup. They fixed the primary. Todd corrected me this morning on that. Okay. Ty Gibbs. Old Ty Gibbs. Not great in practice. Qualified okay. I don't see Ty racing up front all day. However, you go down one spot to Tyler Reddick. I think he's going to be good. Yeah. Little Wormy has some thoughts in the background. He's about ready for his first nap. What a life. Needs a nap at 9:15 in the morning. As I'm drinking a beer, doing what I do for a living. Pretty good. I think Tyler Reddick's going to be strong today. What are kind of the best prices on Reddick? Let's see. According to this, 8.5. Okay, so long run car, I don't think it really matters. I think long run speed, you're not going to pass anybody anyway. Yeah. Gosh, it's a little short on Reddick. And this isn't like a Reddick type track. This seems more of a Hamlin, you know, I don't know. Seems more like a Hamlin type track than it does a Reddick type track. I don't know. Reddick, I think of driving off the right rear. Yeah. Don't do it. Everyone's. Yeah, I know. I know he's been good here. I don't hate Reddick. That 12-1 came down pretty quickly where he opened. So I think he's going to be strong. Yeah, Reddick's hard to trust anymore. He's also a guy that if he loses track position, I don't see him working his way back up to the front. Chris Bell. Well, he had power steering issues. I don't think he's going to the rear, correct? I wouldn't fade Reddick today, Kyle. I wouldn't fade him. Chris Bell. 11-1 MGM, it looks like. Bell. He's not going to the rear. Okay, yeah. Nigel, obviously. Lots of upside for Bell, but not good. Not good in practice. I don't know. And he also hasn't been great on these big tracks. I know because I've lost money on him. Is there a lot of love for Bell? I don't know. Who scores more points today? Yeah, Bell feels like a wild card. That's a good call, Nuke. He's a wild card. If you like Bell and you're optimistic about his chances, I'd say bet him. For me, I'm just not going to bet on him nor against him. Slower in the intermediate package is an understatement relative to the short track package. I will not be pounding Bell today. Yeah, that's okay. Team Penske fan. Agreed. I do think that Adam Stevens and Paul Wolfe are kind of the top tier when it comes to race strategy. So I will give Bell the benefit of the doubt there. However, if the car's not there, the car's not there. Todd, I'm doing a show here, guy. Oh. Take that, Larson, Todd. Where are we at? Bell. Yeah, I don't know. Wild card. Suarez. Good qualifying. I don't think Danny Suarez is going to be. This is a place where if you have the right strategy and you're decent on restarts, you can just hang out. So I do think that Suarez could hang out. Again, someone that if he loses track position, I don't think he's coming back up to the field. Joey, I agree with you that the best shot for Eric Jones is today. We're going to just jump to Eric Jones. He looked awesome in practice. Eric Jones was awesome in practice. And in my opinion, the most underrated driver in the sport, Eric Jones. If Chris Bell isn't coming up through the ranks, Eric Jones wins a lot of races with JGR, in my opinion. Eric Jones is a good driver. And he's been fast lately. And look at his teammate. They qualified 4th and 11th at Pocono, where you have to have raw speed. Jones top Toyota. Oh, what is that? Wow, that's why we do this. That's a great man. There's some fast Toyotas, but Jones is really good. I do not like Dinger at all. I don't like Dinger at all. Nick Sanchez, most underrated. Did Cygnus tell you to pay you to say that? Plus 240 on FanDuel. 20-1. Man, if he's top Toyota, he's got to finish top 3 or top 5. Yeah, Jones did get screwed a little bit. You have a ton of Jones today, Connor? Good. Yeah. Legacy really improved once they got more dedicated sim time with the 23XI facility opening. Everyone take a drink. We got time. No rush. We're betting Jones. We're cooked. I don't think so, Nigel. I think he's going to be strong today. I think he's going to be strong. I love how petty bettors are. Connor just said to Big Ross, who said Nick Sanchez is the best or is the most underrated racer in NASCAR. Connor said, I'd agree with you if Sanchez would have beat Swalwich yesterday, or Sawalwich. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's funny. Yeah. We cashed Bubba top Toyota ticket last year at 100 to 1. Nice. Eric Jones plus 160 top 10. I don't like that. Oh, your comment was a joke. Okay. We're going to keep moving. Joey Logano. Well, JoJo did not look good in practice. His teammates did. And Jones, even money versus Bowman. That seems weird that that's even a matchup. Bowman, I don't know. I'll get to that at Bowman here. I mean, not when you what do you mean don't like plus 160? Not when there's 220 available. And wasn't he like 4 to 1 before practice and qualifying? I don't know if King of Prussia is trolling here or is Kenseth really helping? Yeah, there's 240s. That's why I don't like 160. Come on. Thank you, Zach. Give it the program, guys. Joey Logano. I don't think he's fast, but for whatever reason, I think there's a chance he finds himself out front. And I don't know if you know this or not. Joey Logano is really hard to pass. Yeah, Keith, man, 2 hours before we're the set green flag. I mean, yeah, we're working. Top 10s, 265 and 220 pre-practice. Yeah, those are the tickets you have. Okay, Connor. Carson minus 130 on Bubba. Here's the thing. I thought Bubba was fast, but coming from the back. The best Logano call of the year this year. When? I feel like my Logano calls are terrible, but they win. Like, it's sad. Oh, yeah. Where did he win again? Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. But Logano, I just feel like Paul Wolf is the best. I feel like Paul Wolf is the best. Do we all agree with that? Oh, Texas. That's right. Yeah. Why is Joey to me like the most punchable guy in NASCAR? Joey, he just has the most punchable face. I don't know. He's got a cheesy smile. But I'll tell you what, he's a guy that you want driving your race car, in my opinion. Big Ball Paul. That's him. Ryan Preece. I think RFK showed a little bit of speed here, obviously, with Brad and Buescher. Preece races better than he practices. Oh, so the competition director for Legacy is now Matt Kenseth. I know that King of Prussia is a big Kenseth guy. He just thinks that, 10 years ago, there was just better competition in NASCAR. I know that. Working harder. Do you think teams don't work hard, especially the non-elite ones? I don't know what you mean. I love Logano. The Facebook fans hate him. Yeah, everyone hates Logano, except for my mom and stepmom love the guy. Ryan Preece. I think he has upside. I think there's upside to Preece, but only because he races better than he practices, and RFK showed speed, and he qualified well. Brad Keselowski. Well, if you're going just off of practice times, he was better than, like, faster than everyone in Group 1, like, significantly. But who's sick? Raise your hand if you're sick of losing money on Brad Keselowski this year. I am. I am sick of losing money on Brad Keselowski. I'm sick of it. Now, do I have him? Yes. I did bet him. But I am sick of losing money on Brad Keselowski. Yeah. He's this year's Truex. That's a good call. Brad K is a no-fly zone. Yeah. Yeah. This year's Truex. Eric Jones looks average in iFantasy data. What am I missing? You're missing what I look at. Yeah. I think Brad's going to be fast, and also Eric Jones too. Okay. Zane Smith, I don't know. Anybody have anything on Zane? Let's see if I can find him here in my notes. It is kind of crazy. Your eyes do get worse the older you get. I'm trying to look at this. Who am I looking for? Zane Smith, real bad. I don't think Zane's going to be moving up. Austin Dillon. These are, a lot of these cars are just meh. Zane Smith was bad, okay, for one. Austin Dillon looked kind of very mediocre. So if you get track position, okay. Nuke's tired of having Zane Smith top 10 ticket at like 10-1, I'm guessing, and have him finish 12th. I don't think you mean even money. That actually would have been funnier if you would have said 122nd. I'm sick of betting Brad Keselowski and having him finish 122nd. McDowell, wait, Ford winning manufacturer? Yeah, I don't think that's terrible. I don't think it's bad luck either. Austin Dillon, he's going to be average. Kind of Noah Gragson. If they get track position, they'll probably keep it, but they're not going to drive through the field. Chase Elliott, I'm kind of shocked at how bad this qualifying was when he had such an advantage. Well, okay. I understand. There's some love out there for a certain driver we'll talk about in a second. This is a good track for Chase. I thought he was the best car yesterday. Did not look fast today. Did not look fast. I don't think he looked that good. But I like him at this track. I don't know. He's going to have to steal track position. Oh, yeah, Cygnus. Elliott is an above average Xfinity driver. The 9 needs track position. He does not drive through the field. But I will say this, the 9 does a good job of just not making mistakes, being just fast enough, working his way, kind of towards the front. And you know what? The next thing you know is he's running 5th to start stage 3. Plus 185 versus Reddick. That's a good number. Yeah, then the 9 sucks on restarts. And if you suck on restarts here, you are... Yeah, I agree. If Junior was the 9's crew chief today, I'd be all over it. I was just fan. The older I get, I just love Dale Jr. more and more. I used to bet against. I faded Dale Jr. almost every race because he was just overvalued. And this is back when things were easy to bet. Well, this sport used to be a joke to bet. Now it's very difficult, mainly because of shows like this and podcasts and, anyway. I Chase, if he steals track position, I think his outright price is decent, but I'm not touching him either way. Austin Cindric, I did play his top 10 for small at a little over 2-1. Yeah, I think Junior is the best thing going in NASCAR. Just he cares. Like, I just love seeing him care. I love seeing people care. It's not a job to him. Dale Jr. does not do it for the money. He does it because he loves it. And NASCAR needs it, and he knows it. I couldn't be a bigger fan of Dale Jr. It's impossible. Yeah, Cindric looked awesome. Awesome. Again, could disappear. He's a guy that disappears. What's a good projected finishing position for Josh Berry? And I don't know. We'll figure that. Yeah, I do think Mark Martin on social media is great. Does Cindric pass though? No, Cindric does not pass. That's a good point, Ross. Yeah. So Nuke says that if whoever you bet top 10, they finish 122nd. Joey cares deeply about the sport too. Great. Okay. You cannot, Richard, take a drink. Dick, can I call you Dick? Take a drink. You just compared Joey Logano to Dale Jr. Okay. Take a drink. That's okay. Austin Cindric, I think he's going to be strong, but he's going to have to get it on restarts and just kind of be mistake-free all day in order to finish in the top 10. Yeah. I took a stale number. I'm not going to say the number. It was better than 2-1. I know, not as bad as calling Ryan. No, that's not true. I did compare Byron to Jimmy Johnson, and he's barely won since then. Ryan Blaney, he seems to be the favorite bet for a lot of people. He's been pounded in every matchup, it seems like. There's definitely some love for Ryan Blaney to win this race. Okay. You're starting 20th, and you can't pass. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think that the speed is there. It's going to be tough, though. His passing ability above the rest is just undeniable. Yeah, I agree. He's back with the squirrels. Yeah. Ryan Blaney said the fastest car all season has 1 win. Yeah, Blaney can pass. I agree. Wow, everyone loves Blaney. Yeah, that Cindric top 10 at plus 240 this morning was a killer. Yeah. Blaney is the piano man of Cup. Blaney started 8th when he won last year. Okay. Only 2 of the last 12 races had someone win that didn't start in the top 9. Cygnus with the weirdest stat of the day. Only 2 of the last 12 races had someone win that didn't start in the top 9. That's a lot of. Yeah. So, yeah, he started 8th last year. Who starts? Chris Bell starts 9th. Nigel, of course. Okay, so Nuke's on the 12. Who else is on the 12? Buescher top Ford? I don't know. Go 12. Okay, so Kevin, Ryan, Iowa, Cygnus. Can't bet at his current number. You have Blaney third on your list. Who do you have ranked JTT12380? Who do you have? Mac, are you trolling? Who do you have ahead of you, JTT or JJT? Mac is on the 8 and the 34 today. Imagine that. Planning on sneaking into Circa. Benson, get out of here. I don't get it. You love those guys in matchups? Ooh, plus 925. Boost on Caesars. Okay, so everyone's on Blaney. Which, okay. Yours based on top 15 laps. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep moving. I think Ryan Blaney's gonna be good today? Yes, I do. Ross Chastain. Okay. Ross did not look great at practice at all. At all. Let me change something. Like he didn't look good at all. I even have to adjust my parameters here to see some of his laps. That's how bad he was after an adjustment. I do not. There's nothing that says that Ross Chastain is going to be good today if you just looked at practice. But you have to be great on restarts. Who's better than Ross Chastain at restarts? And you have to hold track position. That sounds like Ross. But, man, looking at that practice, it looks real bleak. He will steal track position at some point. You have to know that the 22 and the 1 are going to get put in weird situations. Also, if you watched the Xfinity race yesterday, I did not think the winning strategy was staying out at the end of stage 2 for Jeff Gordon. Connor Zilic. I did not think that it staying out was the call. So I don't know. This outside the box thinking, maybe stuff like that'll work. And he did catch a timely caution. He did. I actually thought that Zillett should have pitted and taken tires, and then you'd be yeah, well, it worked out because of the caution, but Dale Jr. knew. Yeah, I know. I got chirped by everyone for saying, let Dale Jr. make the call. Of course, I sit here and armchair quarterback everyone. Fuel windows 37 to 41 laps. Ooh, that seems big, doesn't it? I think, yeah, I agree. But the thing is no one's going to win this race out of nowhere. I guess, Larson blew a tire. Is Dale Jr. the greatest crew chief of all time? Well, yes. 8 of 9 Chastain's Pocono finishes. He has finished worse than 24th. That's crazy. Justin Haley. Old Justin. Where is his? Not great. This team's struggling relative to his teammates. Hardcore. There's a flash flood at Pocono. People kind of crucified me for saying that I think that the race looks ugly today. You know how long it's going to take to dry that track? It's going to be hot and humid. It's going to take a while. SVG. Where is Shane? Not good. Not good. Junior better than Canales. Pocono can get weird with fog. Who lost? Who had Harvick and Truex when Buescher won with fog? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you had the two dominant cars the day that Chris Buescher 300 to 1 won a race in the fog. Oh, man, I remember where I was when that happened. I know, this SVG playoffs, like, people that are upset about that now, I don't think any of my followers were upset about that. Talking about a race happened 122 years ago. I was at Planet Hollywood when that race got called. I was not happy. Okay, SVG. I don't think SVG is going to be strong. He's going to stay on the lead lap, but he's going to get passed pretty quickly by Kyle Larson. I think Larson's going to be good today. We all think Larson's going to be able to pass, right? Letarte was a little negative on Larson, which, okay, I understand. He's pretty good. Larson's good. I think Larson's going to be good today. I'd be shocked if he doesn't drive up through the field. I'd be shocked. Larson scares you? Maybe I might have a little blind spot for Larson. He really hasn't seemed like himself since the double. I agree. Oh, Brian, hot take. SVG, capable to win races, makes him more worthy of a playoff spot than Chase Elliott. Clip it, post it, and then I'll get death threats. Yeah. Said he wasn't comfortable. Oh, people would lose their minds if SVG made it to the final 8. Someone said, yeah, it seems like Letarte knows something about Larson. Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah, kind of shit at Pocono. I don't know. I think, well, he's just a guy that moves up. Alex Bowman. Man, I struggle with Bowman because he didn't look great in practice, but he always kind of figures out a way. I think I'm a Bowman apologist. I think he's a great race car driver. I think he's great. I think he's great-ish. I think he's great-ish. Alex Bowman is a great-ish race car driver. Come on, guys. Chase is still learning how to drive a next-gen car. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch used to be so good here. Almost unbeatable. Kyle Busch was awesome. It did not matter. Didn't matter the strategy. His cars were so fast. He was awesome. And yeah, his comments about my boy Dale Jr., just a warm body up there on the pit box. I don't know. Oh, Kyle. Wow, we're just firing at Chase Elliott right now. Who learns the next gen car first, Chase or Jimmy Johnson? Darkness is 820. Yeah. Is it still? Well, it still hasn't rained hard. Dryers have been out, but the storm just keeps staying and ain't moving. More bush apples it is. That was James, who was chirping me earlier for saying that it was just going to rain for like 30 minutes. Ty Dillon was... So I think Kyle Busch did not look good in practice. He ran one fast lap, which shows it's capable, but not consistent laps, which means I don't think he's comfortable in his car. And I don't think Kyle Busch has been comfortable in his car yet. The system seems to be regenerating. Okay. The Suns are trading two-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the number 10 pick in the 2025 draft. And 5 second-round picks. Huh. Wait, did we talk about Kyle taking 5 contenders last week? Dude, yeah, go fast, Troy. Kyle won stuck in 4th gear. Oh, hardcore for all is you're waiting to leave your buddy's barbecue. Oh, okay. Yeah, who cares about the NBA? I agree. Okay, back to the important stuff. Like, Ty Dillon was really bad. So I don't know what to say about Ty Dillon. Maybe he just didn't catch a draft at all. He was real bad. Michael McDowell. I think Michael McDowell can move up a little bit today. He is another driver that we've seen where his crew chief will put him in a position and say, go try to pass him. And he's pretty good at staying out front, hanging on to track position. Can he top 10? This is such a tough race. I think this race comes down to restarts and strategy. I do not think, long run car, so-and-so's reeling another driver in. I just don't see that happening. I just see once this thing kind of gets strung out, you're not going to see a lot of passing. How about Ty Gibbs? What about Ty Gibbs? I'm not overly excited about. 2 tire stop for the 71 is a lock. Is McDowell points racing? I don't know. I don't think so. I guessing on points racing, I think is stupid. Like I just, unless you hear it from the team, we will be points racing today, which no one's going to do. If you have a race winning car, you're not going to be points racing. I don't think. McDowell could move up a little bit. You're thinking 25th. The rain looks a million times worse than it did when we started. Should I bring some people in here? Does anybody want to come on? Because we're not going. The race isn't going to start on time. Big Ross, I got crushed for saying I don't think we would, or I didn't think we'd race today, or everyone thought that, it's going to end. If Nuke's still on, I'll send him an invite here. When is IndyCar starting? I don't know. I don't follow IndyCar too closely. It's just I just don't see consistent odds. You're walking up a mountain. No one cares. No one cares, Ryan. Michael McDowell, Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse. I think the only thing we need to say about Ricky Stenhouse is he going to wreck the 77? Yeah, okay. Indy starts in 45 minutes. It was going to end, and now it looks like we're not racing today. Okay. You want to hop on with me right now, Nuke? I'll send you a link. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'll bring on Nuke. Ricky Stenhouse, I think the only thing he could do significantly today would be to wreck the 77. I don't think he wrecks the 77 here. And here's why. You're going real fast. It's been 49 minutes, Johnny. Oh, God, Pocono and lights. I don't think he wrecks him here. I think that there's actual consequences to wrecking people here. So Atlanta next week. Yeah, Andrew, yes. I like where your head's at. Busher wins on another Monday. No, I'm betting Truex. William Byron fixed his primary. William Byron, the guy that loves to not drive through the field. Can William Byron drive through the field today? He's still going to need to get track position somehow. But I do like his outright price. Is he still 12? What's the best price on? Have we seen any movement on Byron here? Ooh, 10. No, there's some 12s, I thought. Who benefits racing on Monday? Yeah, I think Rudy will get him up there too. I agree. Let me send. Copy. Nuke, I just sent you a link, a DM. Yeah, we got a Monday race week for Saturday. I know, but who bets? Do you guys? No one even. Prime's not even doing the pre things where they're alive. Oh, Sammy Smith. I'm gonna start calling you Sammy Smith. Yeah, if Ricky Craven wins today, did anybody bet Ricky Craven just for fun? Circa had Byron at 11. Yeah, there's some. Westgate has 12. Will racing later in the day with cooler temperatures hurt or help anyone? I think that just there will be less passing. There will be less passing. What about Cody Ware? You got him top 30? Oh, yeah, we got to finish this. William Byron, he's going to need to catch a break, but if William Byron gets near the front, he's going to be real fast. ESPN had Justin Bonsignore top 10 odds. I think it'll be, I agree with Nigel, it'll be a worse race with cooler temps. Gilliland, man, he's like 15-1 to finish in the top 10, but he was just not strong. There's no Gallivers today. Dinger, all he did was bitch in practice. He was bad in practice. He was bad in qualifying. Nope. Bubba was actually, yes. So Byron, wait live, in my opinion. Bubba looked good. Byron was one turn away from being like plus 350. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I agree. That the steering. Yeah, did that do something, Kevin? That's a good point to bring up. He was so fast, and then they went in and they adjusted the. What did they adjust? They didn't. Essentially, the camber of the car. Why the hell would you do that to fix your steering wheel? Can't you just like click your steering wheel another? I don't know. I think he's going to be strong. I think Bubba's going to be good, but does he pass? I have no idea. NASCAR sabotage 23XI cars. I don't think so. Byron just won't win. He'll get bullied late. He does kind of get bullied. Yeah. Todd just, we aren't close to racing today. Is what Todd just messaged me. I trust Byron top 5 more. Yeah. The problem is you're just not getting paid properly on the top 5. I think you still need a bit of luck to get up through the field. Now, he could drive up. I mean, he's going to pass cars quickly. But if, let's just say he gets stalled out behind in 20th place with like Chase Elliott, it'd be hard to pass Chase Elliott in 18th. Yeah, it could take 3 hours to dry the track. We got Keg here. I'm going to bring Keg on in a couple minutes here, but I'm going to run through my top 10 predictions. Now, this is a restart and strategy race. Let's keep that in mind. Hamlin, Buescher, Hocevar, Reddick, Brad, Cindric, Blaney, Larson, Bowman, Byron. There's my top 10. See if I can do it again. Hamlin, Buescher, Hocevar, Reddick. Oh, I didn't put Jones in there. Yeah, I think Jones is really close to a top 10 car. Swap Jones and Bowman. Okay, I'll do that. I'll swap Jones and Bowman. Did I not put Brad? I put Brad in there. How did I not? I put Brad in there, didn't I? All right, you know what? The 77 won't finish. Yeah, you could be right. Hamlin, Buescher, Hocevar, Reddick, Jones, Brad, Cindric, Blaney, Bowman, Byron. Who did I leave out that time? Yeah, Elliott. Yeah, Elliott's right on the edge for me. All right, I got to pick a winner. Just to troll everybody, I'm not going to take Hamlin. I always get, whenever I pick a chalky person, a chalky driver, I always get just shit. So I'm not going to pick Hamlin, just like I didn't pick SVG last week, which was a lock. I want to say Brad, but I'm not going to. I'm sick of losing money on him. Gosh, I don't want to pick Blaney either. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick Blaney, but 1B is Carson Hocevar. Yeah, Kevin's 1B is Carson Hocevar. I'm picking 2. It's my show, and I am picking 2 winners for this race. I am picking Hocevar and Ryan Blaney. If you don't like it, you can watch another show. But I'm going to bring on Keg here and add him to stage. There he is. Let's see.
My guy.
What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, just drinking and talking about NASCAR. What are you up to?
I mean, you have the right to pick 2 winners. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah. It's so someone once told me just to do what you like to do and hope that there's other people that like what you like. And so that's what I've done. And if you don't like it, you can watch another show. So that's why when someone's like, "Oh, you're going to bring someone on?" Yeah, because I want to. So, hey, cheers. You got a drink with you?
I don't, but I did just DoorDash myself some beer.
Okay, good. Jeez, unbelievable, man! I should have asked maybe before you came on if you had any booze, because that's kind of a. All right, so obviously we think very similarly when it comes to betting NASCAR, and I think we kind of found each other through a conversation where someone was just, I think, just chirping us on like, this is what you do for a living, and then everyone kind of came to our aid, I guess.
Right.
And I don't even know if that account exists anymore, but there's a few people that when, we're having I'm having a discussion like this where you chime in, I think Big Ross, I think there's a lot of people on this where if they say, "Hey, wait, check this. Oh, wait, maybe I'm wrong about this." So you want to talk a little bit about your process, I guess, from a betting perspective? Like, what does your week look like when it comes to, let's say, betting Pocono? What are the things that you're looking at, and how do you kind of come up with generating your card?
Yeah, I feel the same way as you do. I have a couple guys like in my group that I respect, that I bounce things off of. And like when the week at Texas, when you were like, I think today's going to be Joey Logano, and he wasn't even on my radar. And I immediately went to my group of guys and I was like, we got to take a step back here for a second, because I respect your opinion, man. Like, you can clearly tell the people in this space that have a clue on what's going on just by interacting with them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I think everything, your content's great. I think your process is great. For me, Monday morning, we're up, we're starting to look at, speed at that track since dating back to 2022.
Sure. Yeah.
I like with this new, track history used to be probably like my number one go-to before we got to this new car.
Yeah.
But since we've been in this new car, I really think it's all about the speed worm. Like, I just, like the adjusted speed ranks and like, loop data, I think is important. And it really comes down like where you are. Like we know the guys who are phenomenal in the short track package.
Yeah.
Blaney and Bell and Elliott are going to be monsters in the short track, and then that Byron, Larson, and Denny have been by far the three best guys in the intermediate package dating back to 2022. And then you see surprises along the way. Like I think you would agree with me last year. In 2022 and 2023, Bubba Wallace and Reddick were very good.
They were.
Last year, Reddick was good. Bubba fell off.
Yep.
This year, early in the year, all of a sudden, Bubba's speed came back in the intermediate package. Josh Berry hops in Harrison Burton's car out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, the beginning of that year, the car's a rocket, right? So in this new car, I tend to follow the speed a lot. And all these new markets, like most fastest laps. One of my guys, Adam, Iowa, that's in the chat.
Okay.
He's been absolutely killing it, because early in the week you'll see a number on Blaney where he might be 7-1 to win the race, but he's 16-1 to have the most fastest laps.
Where can you play that? See, I'm up in Canada here. We don't have all the markets.
Okay, here's the thing. It comes out on Tuesday mornings, somewhere between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. at normally DraftKings, and they're normally the first one to drop it.
And it's most fastest laps.
And you'll see some earlier in the year, there were wild discrepancies where you were like, what the hell is going on? They're starting to get hip to it a little bit. But again, like I think Adam got like Blaney most fastest laps at like 14 or 16-1, and he was like
Nashville.
I'm not sure, Meyer. If you're in the chat, let me know. But yeah, I
know fastest laps is the thing. I didn't know most fastest laps was a thing.
And that's more consistent, right?
That is way more consistent.
Exactly.
Like picking that winner, you could. What's Denny for most fastest laps today?
He was like, what was he? 550, Meyer? Hold on.
So with a fast car,
right?
With a fast car, you have a better chance of having the most fastest laps than winning the race.
Right.
Winning races is hard with the best car.
Right.
It's hard to win these races, especially a place here where track position is everything. If you just get out front in a restart.
But here's the problem, Warren. For people like you and I, it's not really a problem, because we could be there at Tuesday morning between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. because you have about 20 minutes maybe to make a decision before the numbers are nuked. But for your average recreational bettor, they're not going to get that.
Yeah, and that's just the way that the things have gone as just betting on NASCAR has become more popular.
Right.
Yeah, it does take a lot of the fuckery out of it. I would agree.
Like one thing with that you bet way more than I do are matchups. I don't really bet matchups all that much, but that's a big thing for you, right?
Yeah, it was more like 2 and 3 years ago. It also depends on my outs. If I have the hardest part about betting this for a living is just having a place to bet.
Correct.
And when you lose an out where I had one out where I could get a lot on matchups. I could get a lot to the point where I cared. Well, then I'd focus on that because I could get more down on those matchups, and I started focusing there. But when you're, very rarely are you capped on max win, right? You're usually capped on a max bet. And so right now I lost that account, no winning allowed. Now that I've been kind of capped on matchup betting and you can't get as much on the matchups, I tend to bet more outrights because there's more potential upside. So a lot of it has to do with just where my outs are and also the odds. If you see a ridiculous matchup price, it's like, okay, I start making some phone calls. How much can we get down on this? But ultimately, I'm trying to make as much money as possible. And that's usually dictated on just where I can bet. So,
right. People don't even understand, man. I have probably 12 outs. I probably have 120 accounts. I have a group chat of people that I have to text to
Oh
put
yeah.
action, because like people that bet at Fanatics, like I can't bet $3
Yeah.
at Fanatics. You know what I mean? Like your max bet at FanDuel is going to be $100 maybe.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden you're got 15 people trying to bet $100. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they they just cut you at the knees. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the ability. I'm in Jersey, so I
Mhm.
can't even bet like Bovada. I can't even go to an offshore where they might take a few thousand. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like 5,000 on a matchup. Like
Yeah.
in order for me to make my money, like I'm betting 1,000, $1,500 on like outrights.
Yeah.
Like and I'll bet groups like top manufacturers. Like today, like I agree with you. I think Will Byron's going to be real good today.
Yeah.
Real
They're
good.
fixing the car. I thought I read yesterday that they were going to just change the engine, and nope, or well, I thought they were going to take the engine from the original or the primary and put it in the backup, but apparently they're fixing the primary, which to me says that's a better confirmation than say Ross Chastain, who went to a backup in the Coke 600. I've seen backups not perform as good as primaries. There's a reason they're a backup. It's not because they thought it was a better car and they thought he'd wreck the primary. That's not why.
Right.
So the fact that they're fixing that car makes me think that Byron's going to be really good. The problem with betting Byron, one, you're back with the squirrels, and two, you're not driving from 31st to the lead at Pocono. You're just not doing it. That's
Right.
not a thing anymore. It was
Right.
in 2016, 2017, when we had a car with low downforce and setups actually mattered. Now it seems like every car, once you get strung out, is kind of the same. So I do think there's a little bit of luck, but if he gets it, he's not going to lose track position.
I agree with you. I
You know,
mean, he might be the best front runner in the sport.
well,
The
he just doesn't make mistakes.
the problem for Willie B is that if he isn't out front, he just can't get back out front. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Take out Daytona, he hasn't won a race in a year. And he's
Yeah.
top 3 in speed every week. And the kid hasn't won a race in a year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. What happened is I said he was the next Jimmy Johnson, and he has not won a race since. He has not won a regular race. Shit, last year, after I said that, he wasn't even the best car. Like, at least this year, he's been the best car at a few tracks, right? We've seen him lead a lot of laps. I guess he's been kind of the fake best car because Blaney's kind of been the best car, just kind of back with the squirrels, working his way to the front.
right.
But Byron's just done a good job. When he's out front, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. But to your point,
That's the best thing you could say about him. Like the best thing you could say about Will Byron is he is consistent and
so consistent.
he is safe. And like you and I always say, nobody picks up the pieces like Will Byron.
Oh,
Like he will always be there if you fuck up to steal your win.
absolutely.
You know what I
He
mean?
loves doing that.
Right. That's him. And I think if he gets up there, if they can gain some track position today, yeah, he's going to be a problem. Like, I'll tell you what I like. Like, I think there's value in Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman today to be top Chevy at plus 650 and 12-1. Now, and I did bet Byron also.
Mhm.
At like plus 250, kind of as a hedge, because I know he's going to be a problem if he gets up there. I
Mhm.
did not bet Hocevar. That kind of worries me because I think you're right. It's going to be hard to pass. And that Hendrick motor, he's probably going to keep his track position for a large part of the day unless he shits the bed on a wild restart.
Yeah, but that's why I've always told people to take Hocevar outright if you think he's going to be strong, but don't take him in matchups, right? You need to make sure that the risk reward is there. And the reward for Hocevar is winning a race. It's not finishing second, third, or just taking a bad day and making it a solid finish. That's not what he does. That's what Alex Bowman does. Alex Bowman takes a okay, tough qualifying, bad car. Let's get a good finish. Oh shit, Alex Bowman finished 5th. We didn't talk about him all day long, but sure enough, he shows up as top Chevy or something like that. Carson Hocevar is not that guy. Carson Hocevar is the guy where it's like he's racing for the lead. Oh, he finished 3 laps down. You know,
Yeah,
that's the difference with Hocevar.
absolutely right. But here's the problem. 8 weeks ago, we were betting him at 80 to 1. Now he's 20 to 1. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. They nuke the odds. People ask me all the time, like, oh, like, important like tips about like sports betting. I think the most fundamental aspect of your game in sports betting is evolution. You have to evolve with the way the books adjust lines with the new markets that they release. Example, when they changed the qualifying rules, where now there's only one lap, right?
Yeah.
Now teams could look at SMT data late, right? Now the last 5 people that qualify every friggin' week are probably going to be more times than not your 5 fastest qualifiers.
Yeah.
And if you look this week, Worm, your last group of guys was Elliott, Bell, Briscoe, and those guys. Elliott was 18 to 1 to win the pole going out that late. Chris Bell 10 to 1 to win the pole going out that late. Now, don't get me wrong, Denny got the pole, right?
Right.
But ordinarily this year, you don't see guys going out early getting the pole.
I think that there's been a lot of this. I think there's been a lot of people making money on pole bets this year, just doing that. Like that's Briscoe's gone out late,
right?
And that's why people have been able to cash those Briscoe tickets. I think the hardest part with me when it comes to sports betting is, you know, I've been doing this for 15 years.
Same.
Is to come up here and say, I hate picking a winner. I hate, like, could Kyle Larson win today? Yeah. If Kyle Larson gets up front, I think Kyle Larson could easily win today, run away with it. But I also see a world where Denny Hamlin kind of controls the whole race. We see no passing because I've seen so much. I become less and less sure of things. And then you just kind of look at the numbers like, hey, I'm taking this number, because that's
all sports betting is, man.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, people ask me all the time, like these people that bet on fighters or they bet on drivers, that's not what you're betting. The only thing that matters is the number.
Yeah.
Like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson's got the same shot to win every week, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only thing that matters is he 3 to 1 or is he 750?
Yeah.
And that's your determining factor on whether or not you're going to pull the trigger.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure. Totally
there's
agree.
some places that had him he was 15 on Chris a little bit ago. I don't know if and then went down to 13, and Chris Bell was 18. Not that I think Chris Bell has a chance, but I'm sorry. You're going to give me on a non-road course. You're going to give me Larson at 13 to 1 at anywhere. You almost have to take it.
My friend auto pulls the trigger anytime he's 10 to 1 in a race. Yeah. Doesn't matter if he's a lap down. He just auto pulls. That's it. Yeah.
No, there's I kind of respect that the person that's able to do that. I'm not quite there yet. I'd rather take, let's just say an opening price of, Denny Hamlin at 4.5 to 1 this week. Oh man, he hasn't had, worst finishes outside the top 6. He doesn't have one in this car. I'm like, man, I'd rather just see practice. And then he looks average in practice, pulls it 3 to 1. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I'd want plus 450 right now on Hamlin, even though the guy could absolutely snooze
the field
today. It could be one of those days where he gets out front and, on the restart and then snooze them all day. But I don't know. But hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, just I don't think, for all the shit that I caught on for saying that I think we might get delayed or even race tomorrow. This is not Uncle Wormy's first time watching a fucking a rain delay race. So
are we not looking good?
I don't know. I mean, everything that I've been that's been tweeted at me in the last 10 minutes. I don't know. Prime is showing Earnhardt instead of doing pre-race. So
Really?
yeah, that's usually not a good sign. Track drying continues. That's from Speedway Digest.
What time do you think they have to start the race by?
What is the average time for the race? Did someone look that up? Well, not the average time, but just the last few races. That's the beauty of having these minions. Like, someone can go look up. Yeah, 5 o'clock probably sounds about right because they can't do pre-race while shelter in place. Okay, there you go. See, that's why I do this. I learn more on this than most people think.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of sharp people in the community, for no doubt.
Yeah, I prefer like the hive mind mentality. Like it's us versus them, right?
Right.
And it's not my bets versus your bets. I'm pulling for you. We have different cards. Every week we have different cards. Now we think similarly. I'm pulling for you. You're pulling for me.
Yeah.
We're never. It's never like, well, I'm on Kyle Busch and you're on Alex Bowman. That's not.
Right.
If it was a thing, it was because you bet it before practice and qualifying, and I bet it after practice and qualifying.
Exactly.
And then it's like, man, do we just call this a wash? Can we just get out of this bet? So, that's where I think that the NASCAR community is slightly different than I know from based on what Todd said in the football community, where it's kind of cutthroat. Like it almost seems like a zero-sum game. I feel like NASCAR is not a zero-sum game. Like we're just out here trying to make it work. And everyone's kind of pulling for each other. So hopefully someday that they're going to have some sort of broadcast where they have someone with a brain out there that's talking about NASCAR betting. That would be awesome.
I know.
And until that day, we're just going to sit here and pound drinks before the race and see if we can catch the eye of someone at Fox or maybe Prime or whoever it may be.
It's better content than's on the network. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And it's interactive. Like, why the hell are we not?
I know.
Why the hell are we not? Why is there no interactive show? I don't understand
it, man. Sports betting is growing at an exponential rate. I don't get it.
Yeah, the NFL betting community is toxic. Yeah, there's no room for snobby, selfish assets. The other thing too is I think we've all done a good job, like kind of the leaders in this betting NASCAR. The best explanation wins. Like I'm willing to change my mind if you come up with a better argument as to why I should bet something. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. I'll actually change my mind.
That's what I was just saying. That week when you called out Logano at Texas, I was like, we might have to think about Logano. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's your pick to win? I picked 2. You can pick 2 as well. I make the rules, so you can pick 2.
All right.
Now it's different now. So here's where I struggle with picking my winner. Is I'm already kind of just not picking Denny because people get pissed when I just pick the chalk, right? So I can't pick Larson at Homestead, right? Even though I did, but like so it's but it's also not the best bet. I give out the best outright bets. I think the best outright to me is
based
probably
on odds, correct.
But,
based
on odds, it's probably like I prefer a high payout at this track because I do think it's just strategy and if you get up front. So I like Keselowski and Hocevar are kind of my best outright prices. And I picked Hocevar to win just out of to kind of troll, but ultimately Blaney to me, when it comes down to it, Blaney's going to be good, but I also think Buescher's going to be strong too. So
those were going to be my 2 guys, Blaney and Buescher.
Yeah.
I think 8-1. Now the 10-1 opener on Blaney was probably the supreme entry point. 8-1 right now, not bad, man. I think that's fair. Busch, the Buescher price, I think is right on the line. Of course, you would have rather had him at 18 or 20, but he tends to be very good in the race when he looks good in practice.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be very good today. But I also think Denny could walk the field for him.
Yeah. And if you don't think that, if you're sure, I get very like like alarms go off when someone's very sure about something in NASCAR, because I don't know if you're watching this shit or not, but it's really hard to predict. So
It is.
Iowa says we got some groupthink going on. So Iowa, who's your pick to win the race today? We can see in his let us know in the comments what you think.
He's going to say Blaney.
He's going to say Blaney. Well, that sounds awful lot like groupthink. So are you going to participate in the groupthink, or are you going to think outside the box?
Yeah, I'm going with Blaney and Busher.
Full well knowing that Hamlin could just
lead
every lap and
Yep.
never be in question all day, all race long. Yeah.
Yep. And I do think that if Will Byron can get up there, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah. So I would put a lot of people in this. Pull this up here. There's a few people in the. I don't think they could get past for the lead. Like, I think anyone that's a top 10 car. Let's just say you get 4 laps into a run.
Right.
You get a half a second lead. First place has a half a second lead over second place. I don't see there's a 12 and 17. Okay, so yeah, you guys are in line there. I don't think anyone could pass Denny Hamlin. If let's say you give a half a second lead, 4 laps into a restart. I don't think anyone's passing Hamlin. No one's passing Busher. I don't think you could pass Chase Briscoe,
Reddick,
Ty Gibbs, Reddick, Chris Bell, Eric Jones. I don't think you pass Eric Jones today. If he gets out front, you're certainly not passing Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski, probably not passing him. Unless it's like you have a clear advantage on tires. If Larson gets out front, and you're not passing Larson if he gets out front.
Right.
So that's what makes it really hard is if you tell me when the caution comes, I'll tell you who has the best chance at winning the race. That last caution inside the window, let's re-rack them. Who gets the lead? It's going to be really hard to beat that person.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's been the most disappointing aspect of this new car.
They just 100%.
They just can't pass people, man.
Man, I used to love and I know that Edwards talks about he retired because of the caution.
Right.
You know.
He was so good. He was so
he was awesome. But he also saw the direction that they were headed with downforce, and they were gonna add more. And he went, nah, it's no fun to drive. That's just no fun to drive. Sammy Smith here. Do we think there's a chance to live bet Hamlin? I think there will be. I do. Because
paint me a picture. What scenario you think?
Yeah, if to bet Denny Hamlin
to get a decent number on him, yeah.
I would say this. I would want to see Denny Hamlin in traffic. If I'm going to pull the trigger on him at 3-1, I need to see him restart 8th and drive up to 3rd. If he can pass a few cars, okay, yeah, now you have my attention. If you're just going to control the race, and we've seen this a number of times where the fastest car curse, and I think Byron falls into this often, where they adjust their car for clean air. And then you end up in traffic and you're like, holy shit, we went the wrong direction.
You need a trip down pit road.
Yeah. We went the wrong way. So Denny is kind of the curse of the fast car, where he's going to be out front a lot today. If he ends up back in traffic and he hops on the radio and he's like, I'm too tight in traffic, or whatever it is, whatever condition that they're fighting, it's because they adjusted it the wrong way. And they adjusted it for not being in traffic. If I was a crew chief, if I was on a race team, I would say, hey, where do we need to adjust this thing to stay out front but be strong if we lose track position? And too many times drivers are bitching on the radio and they have clean air. I need this, I need that. And then they lose track position, and that's the wrong adjustment. Too many times people are like, oh, it's going to be great. It's great. Well, if it's not all rainbows and butterflies for Denny Hamlin, what are you going to need in traffic to make passes?
Right.
And if I see him go back to 8th and then over like a 20 lap run, pick up 4, 5, 6 spots, then I like Denny at that 3-1 price. But if he goes back there in 8th and picks up 1 spot, I am not touching him.
My only criticism, I agree with that largely, but my only criticism to that would be, don't you think that there has been a difference this year where we see a certain set of cars. They can pass those guys from 8th to 3rd, but they cannot pass the guy in front.
Yeah.
For the life of them, they cannot pass the leader. Haven't
Yeah.
you seen that this year?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that the leader's a tough one to pass. But it also depends on the leader too. If it's Hamlin, Busher, Reddick, Bell, Blaney, Larson, I don't think anyone's passed those guys for the lead. Right?
Yeah.
So no one's passing them. Yeah, it kind of depends. I just like to see passing. Like, a lot of people ask, well, what makes you like that? Well, the cars that are passing. In getting passed by a car, if let's just say, I'm just going to pull out a name. This is not me live betting. If I like Ross Chastain today, but I'm going to wait to bet him live. If I see him lose spots to Larson and Bowman in the first 5 laps and he doesn't get those spots back, I'm not touching him, right? Like I would just not touch that guy.
Right.
And you look at a guy like Ryan Blaney, almost no one passes him.
Right.
Even if he's running, he almost never gets passed. He almost never gets passed.
And he's on his own planet this year in terms of quality passes. You know what I mean? Like when we're live betting, like we're looking at, what's going on with your current 5, 10, and 15 lap averages, who's trying to flip the field. Okay, this guy just went down pit road, 2 tires, put him on the list, keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
There are just so many things going through your mind.
Yeah, that's why I there'll be a point when I do in the next couple of weeks where I'm going to do my own broadcast. Like I'll just do a live stream. And then my goal is to just beat the broadcast to all the things that they say that are, so because usually the broadcast, I would say when it comes to the things I'm thinking about, and I'm sure the same way is 2 or 3 minutes behind or 2 or 3 laps behind. Like when they say, oh, the lap times for Ty Gibbs have been the fastest the last 4 or 5 laps. I'm like, yeah, I thought that 3 laps ago. I was already thinking about that.
Can I tell you, this is very interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. I have been doing a live show.
Oh, you have?
During the race for the last 7 years.
Oh, really?
So I have not actually heard people call a race in 7 years.
Oh, really?
Because I'm live every weekend on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I'm betting on the show like that. That's what we do. So, it's interesting to hear that because I'm always like, what is this crew chief thinking? Why would you do that here? And you've been listening to the broadcast, obviously, because you're not doing a show.
Broadcast,
yeah. And I haven't heard somebody call a football game in a decade.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. So you bet all sports then?
Come and hang out with us whenever you want, bro.
Yeah, I've never. I'm just in my own little world.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you. I have
Nuke the House YouTube channel. We'll be live in an hour if the race is going to happen. I have no idea if it's going to happen today, but I mean, if it does, we'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You got Riggs live at 6 to 1. That's great. Yeah. Trucks is tough. My limits on trucks just got, man, losing outs. You losing out. You
it's brutal. Yeah.
Oh, it's especially when it was.
You feel like
I'll tell you off air the deal I had, and it was a real good one.
Oh.
And I lost that, and oof, it was brutal. But,
trucks are soft.
Yeah,
they're pretty easy to make money on. I mean, Corey Haim's a god in that series. That truck, the speed in that truck is crazy. Did you bet the Xfinity race yesterday? What a low ball move by Allgaier, dude.
Yeah,
we were on Zilich and Elliott, right?
I was on Zilich only.
Yeah,
so I was happy.
Yeah, so we were okay.
You were okay the whole race.
What did you think? What did you think of that move by? He just pushed him up the track with 14 to go.
Yeah, not very Allgaier like.
Right.
I would say is. I actually think when it comes to like racing integrity, I put Allgaier up there real high. The way that he acts on the radio, the way he reacts with his team, the way he races people, I would put him pretty high. But I also think with the speed he's had in the car, he probably feels a little desperation because he's been the fastest car
by
week
far.
in and week out, and he's not getting the wins in the finishes he should get based on the speed in the car.
He's got the worst pit crew to ever do it in the history of mankind. I mean, Worm, the amount of money this year. I lost $25,000 because the guy tripped over a hose and fell in front of the car on the last pit crew while the other guy behind him lost the tire and it went rolling down the street for a penalty. And prior to the pit stop, he had a 6-second lead on the field and there were like 15 laps to go. I mean, that pit crew is by far the worst in NASCAR. It is incredible.
Yeah. Followed closely by Ryan Blaney.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Ryan Blaney's crew loves to lose spots, but it's going if you like actually think back, I'd have to think back at like the worst beats that I've experienced. I think we could do a whole podcast on the worst NASCAR
I have the
beats.
worst one, and I guarantee it's the same one for you.
What is it?
I cannot remember what race it was. We were live years ago. I would have to go back on the YouTube. But there was a time where a plastic bag cost somebody the race. It hit the front. The guy overheated. And it was like on the second to last lap to go, his car overheated and he was forced to go down pit road. And you saw the bag in slow motion in the air. And all of a sudden, right to the front of his car.
It was Byron at Vegas. That was Byron at Vegas 2 years ago, but it wasn't at the last. You're probably thinking of a different one if that's the case, because that was early in the race.
It might have been, if not that one. It was Larson cutting the tire on the last turn of the last lap. You remember that?
At Pocono. Oh, yeah.
That was brutal, bro. Brutal.
Yeah, and it never happens I've never had something like that happen where it
was
our
way. Yeah. No, it never goes our way, right?
Yeah, it's never that.
No,
because if you're actually making good bets and you're you're on the proper side, you're going to get more unlucky than you are lucky.
Correct.
It's like the world is against you in that, the universe is against you in that deal. If you're actually right in your predictions, you're more likely going to get unlucky than you are lucky, because you're set up to get unlucky,
You're where you're supposed to be, and it's are you or are you not going to get screwed? Really?
Yeah. That Chris Bell at Vegas was pretty tough.
I got another one. I got last year. You remember it was Chris Bell and Keselowski. We were on Keselowski at 20-1. He was just about to go by him in the rain. You remember the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, I had Brad K.
Yeah,
the only bet I made that race was Brad K.
We were on
he drove up through the fields, and Bell knew it. Bell even said it in his interview, like, well, I'm kind of glad it got rained out because
I got another one for you.
Okay.
This is funny. We're live on the show. I'm doing a truck race, right? I said, all right, boys, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I have to go do a Veasan spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I run over to Veasan and I say, if you guys bet anything while I'm gone, text me. They said, okay. In a 10-minute span, Worm, they pulled the trigger on Lane Riggs at 40-1. I didn't see the text. I come back from the Veasan spot. I hop on. I'm like, did you guys hit anybody? And they all go, oh, no. I said, what do you mean, oh, no?
We didn't text you.
We bet Lane Riggs at 40-1. I go to click the button. He's 2-1. He was 2-1, bro. I had to sit there for a 10-minute meaningless Veasan spot.
Yeah.
I missed out on a 40-1 Lane Riggs winner. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I try not to look at that stuff, where if someone bets a mistake, I just can't even put myself in that where a mistake line, where someone fat fingered instead of 5-1 for a top 5, they're 50-1 for a top 5.
What's your best almost could have been? Ours was 300 to 1.
My best ever. The worst one that I can think of where it was like a very meaningful amount of money, and it wasn't a bad beat. It was 2020, and it was Justin Haley was leading the Xfinity race, and Justin Allgaier ran him down, and I had Haley. They left him up live leading. I just kept hitting him at 40-1 until 40, 40, 40, 40. And this is back when Bet365 didn't have a limit.
Right.
And they just kind of let me
Took
keep going.
Everything
and
you wanted, yeah.
Anything I wanted. And they just kept, and Allgaier even said, like, I'm going to get him. And I kind of thought Allgaier would get him, but that was kind of the biggest financial swing I could have had. I mean, gosh, I could go back. I should do a bad beat show because
last year, funny enough, Justin Haley, we pulled the trigger. We hit it at the perfect time. The Chicago street race, he was 300 to 1 when he took that lead with 9 laps to go.
Oh, wow.
And he would have won the race if SVG didn't spin.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And we were disgusted. Oh, it was a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah.
That was the best almost could have been at like a really big number.
I had another one. It was Juan Montoya at Richmond when Kevin Harvick beat him. Yeah. Juan Pablo. That was when he was in the 40, obviously the 42.
The target.
He was in the target car, and he led a lot of laps. Someone look up, when did Juan Montoya finish second at Richmond? That was a brutal one because that was early in the days, and when a big winner like that was life-changing, where you're gonna make an amount of money where you're like, oh.
Do you remember? People don't, like, you've been doing this a long time with me. Everybody that's new to the sport, like I have, like Adam, he's only been betting NASCAR and watching NASCAR Iowa for about 3.5 years. But because of people like you, because of people like me and Ryan over at Win the Race, I mean, he is one of the sharpest kids out there right now in terms of NASCAR, but he's new. So he's only been around this live market of betting for like 3.5 years. Do you remember when we used to bet the guy leading the race with 3 laps to go at 8-1 live, like 6 years ago? We used to get 8-1, 10-1, 5 laps in the race, and the guy's winning the race.
People don't understand the olden days.
They don't get it.
It was the Wild West. You could you were betting stuff, and you're like, man,
you were laughing. You thought it was like a hidden treasure map nobody else could find. You were like, why doesn't anybody else bet this sport?
We had, like, I know some guys that were in Vegas for the Vegas race, and Ryan Blaney was in the field for the pole at 100-1. But they knew if they walked up there and tried to put 1,000 on it, a manager would call it over, and then all of a sudden he'd get flagged and they'd get $100. So they just pounded kiosks for $50 all morning. And got a ton down.
It's funny
on the pole.
It's funny you say that because to be fair, last year we bet Austin Cindric starting in row 1 at 60-1. Did you bet that too when he won that race?
At Gateway,
when Bell blew his motor,
and Blaney ran out of gas.
Yeah. We were on all 3, but Cindric ended up getting there at 60.
Yeah, Jacob, do you want to tell Nuke what we got, or
what did you get? Better than 60?
215.
You Wow.
Someone left some stale lines up.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
200.
Jacob bought a car. Jacob bought like a Grand Cherokee.
You're kidding me.
Eh,
What book? Legal book? Legal
No.
market?
no,
Oh, okay. Okay.
no. It's just a stale. Someone left it up. I didn't think it was going to win.
I
But,
didn't either. I
yeah.
mean, to be fair, Bell and Blaney could have won. They
Oh, they should have won.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was the luck. That was the luck for us. Unfortunately, I was kind of capped at that one. Is that site actually had a cap on what you could win? Unfortunately.
Well, there you go. We just came up with an example of when it worked out.
Yeah, but I also had Bell and Blaney.
Exactly.
And it was I didn't have as much on the 215 as I did on Bell and Blaney. So I don't look at that as luck. It's like, okay, like I'll take it, right? I'm still happy,
Right.
but I didn't trust Austin Cindric. Bell blows up, Blaney runs out of gas. I'm like, I don't even know who finished second in that race, but I guarantee you I didn't have him. Like I was sitting here going like, oh, is Cindric gonna actually pull this off? There's a restart. Fortunately, there's no one pitting at Gateway, but what books do you use for live?
We use DK, Bet365, BetMGM, Caesars. Thank God for Caesars. Because that's where you can get the most money down, at least. The numbers are unfortunate sometimes, and then like FanDuel, but I have to get so many people involved to bet FanDuel. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically it. Let me ask you a question in terms of like where you think people are going. Like, do you think Bowman has a long future at Hendrick? Like, do you think Carson ends up taking that spot?
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I kind of when it comes to silly season stuff, because I can't bet on it. I try not to concern myself with, until I'm paid to make decisions for NASCAR teams. I don't even I don't know. I don't think about it. Do I think Hocevar would be better than Bowman? Yes, but I think Hocevar is. I've been bullish Hocevar hardcore for years now.
So
I think he has the most. When you talk about speed, hey, does your car go fast? Okay, I'd put Kyle Larson in it first. Who are you putting next to see if your car's fast? I mean, Hocevar,
said today on Sirius, he's Kyle Busch in 05 and 04.
Yeah, could have been.
He reminds me of.
Yeah.
Right?
I wasn't watching at that point. That was a little before my time.
But like that, there is nobody remotely close to that kid at his current age. Like anywhere in the series. I think he gets more speed out of a race car than people that have been doing this for a long time. He's naturally gifted. But
yeah, there was a great quote I had. I tweeted something about like everyone's shocked at SVG or hating on SVG. It's like, I don't know why. Did anyone not see SVG being shitty on ovals and then winning a road course race in dominant fashion and getting into the playoffs? Like,
yeah, of course.
Everyone kind of jumped on me like, oh, he just doesn't. Wait, you're mad at it now? You should have been mad at this like months ago when you knew it was going to happen.
We immediately pulled the trigger when I was like, wait a minute, there are 7 road courses in a year, and they were like, they set the SVG win total at like 1.5. That was an insta click for me.
Yeah,
no brainer.
Last week, that should have been the biggest favorite we've seen in NASCAR, in my opinion. Like, I had some at 4, but not enough. Like, I didn't know with rain, I wasn't going to go just pound him. Pound a dude. Yep, that's right. There, go ahead and cut that. Yeah, but
pause. What did the kids say? Pause.
Yeah, they that 4-1 line. If there wasn't rain in the forecast, that's a big boy. But I didn't know. Yeah, 450 after practice. Understanding how people practice, I think, is really important to understand.
Do you use a lot of exchanges?
I wish. No, I don't.
Yeah, because like I don't really either, but I wasn't sure if they had like live markets on like Poly and like Profit Exchange and like places like that.
I'm not the cool better. I'm just the guy that like
I'm not
tries
hip
to make
to
a
it either,
living.
dude. I don't know anything about it
um,
either.
yeah, I just think it's the NASCAR markets are too small. I think if there were exchanges, I would probably be offering bets. I would be the one that would be making the market versus like actually bet. I would eat up odds if good bets came out. Like eHorse was something I used to use a long time ago. I don't know if that's like where you could actually offer for and against prices, so it's kind of like a Betfair.
Oh, okay.
Uh, that was a great place to at least find the best number, right? So if let's just say Hamlin today, the best number today on Hamlin was plus 350 or something. He would open up at plus 410 on eHorse, but you could only put 250 on him. So you'd eat up the 250 and then you'd take the plus 400 for 250 and then you take the plus 390 and then, eHorse is kind of eaten up because the next thing they offer is like a 380, and that would be kind of very similar to what the market would offer, but you could eat up those first few prices. So that was always a good place to bet, but that's the last exchange I really used. I don't
Yeah.
know if Poly does. I can't because I'm in Canada. um
I haven't really checked, but I know like all these new spots like Kalshi and all these places popping up but I mean NASCAR is such a niche market, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know how much they would have.
no.
Another tip I tell people all the time about sports betting is be almost anal about your how you track your own action.
Mhm.
I compartmentalize everything. I can tell you the rate I hit on a top 10 on every single driver, on a top 5 on every driver, because the more you know about your own betting practices and the more that you're looking at what you are good in and what you are bad in, what you are excelling in and what you just can't get right, it opens up and it allows you to at
We
least know what you need to work on or what you should stick to. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's just instant feedback, right? You
Right.
know that when you have let's just say you're doing really well on top fives, your ROI is, over 25 or 30% on top fives, for example. You just know that when you have a feeling on a top five, you don't need to say like, I haven't done well on these this year. You just go, oh, nope, this has been a cash cow for me. My intuition is probably right.
Right.
Okay, so track drying is starting. Rainstorms could be hit or miss the rest of the day, track drying. So I got to get going here though.
All right, brother. Thank you
Hey
very
man,
much.
it
It was
was
awesome to
good to
hang
have
out.
you on. Where can people follow you? Go ahead and pitch your whatever you
I
got.
mean, yeah, I mean, you guys could follow us at Nuke the House over on Twitter. And if you guys want to come and hang out with us today on Nuke the House YouTube, we will be watching the race and live betting the race like we do every week. Worm, love you, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging
Hey,
out.
thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll do it again sometime. All right.
Later,
Cheers.
brother.
See ya. All right. Well, oh gosh, what is this? Someone just spam us? We just get spammed? What in the hell? How do I get rid of that guy? All right. Well, I got one last sip. Anyone oh, bots. Oh, I'm famous? Yes. How do I ban them? Ban user. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Jacob. I don't have a mod, dude. I just blocked them. They're gone. Biggest bet today, risk or return value, risk or return wise. I don't have I don't have a couch bet. Um, Late to the party. Who wins? I picked, so because it's my show and I do whatever the hell I want, I bet, I picked Ryan Blaney and Carson Hocevar. Oh, yeah, I didn't talk to Benson this morning. If he's still on, then Benson wants to chime in. I doubt he's still on. We've been going for an hour and 50 minutes. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in. We will, what number would you take the 12 down to? I'm going to bet the 12 live. Okay. Ricky Rex Hocevar and brings darkness into play. Great show. Yeah, well, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Well, eventually I'm going to do a live stream, something like Nuke. So we'll see what happens. Go Busher, 2-hour show. Yeah, I got to pee. Brad is bad. Brad is bad. Okay, there. Jeffrey's still. He's still on. So that's good. Reddick and Hamlin bad. Really, Hamlin bad? Okay. Who's good? Who's good for the book? Post-race pull up to 77 wins. Yeah, we'll see. It depends on what time it is. I mean, not gonna have anything going on, but I know I got to get some more beer too. I drank 3 beers on the pull. It's kind of nice. What do you do for a living? Well, I drink and I talk about NASCAR. Sounds like a good job. All right, I'm out of here. See everyone later. Peace.